Hello and welcome to People in Profit. I'm Charles Pellegrin. Coming up, a music industry special. What's the deal with Spotify's revenue streams? The world's biggest music streaming platform has found profitability to be elusive over its 15-year existence and is having to cut its workforce. We'll discuss this and the growing business of investing in music royalties with the CEO of Europe's biggest music investment platform, Marzio Schena. And we'll finish by looking at the Taylor Swift phenomenon. The pop star has built a billion-dollar empire and is credited as having boosted the US economy in 2023. Is the Spotify model a successful one? The streaming platform, launched in 2008, is the leader in its field, on par with what radio and CDs used to represent in the sense that it's become the most convenient way for people to consume music and other audio content in this era. Despite its dominant position, Spotify has struggled to consistently turn a profit and even announced a 17% cut in staff this December. Leo McGuinn tells us more.
Big changes at the world's largest audio streaming service, with Spotify announcing a reduction of 17% of its workforce. In a letter posted on their website, CEO Daniel Ek explained the reasoning behind what he called a difficult but crucial decision.
In Spotify's early days, our success was hard-won. We had limited resources and had to make the most of every asset. Our ingenuity and creativity were what set us apart. And as we've grown, we've moved too far away from this core principle of resourcefulness.
Spotify, like many other technology companies, grew in size and scope during the pandemic, with its headcount nearly doubling over the past 3 years to more than 8,000 workers. The company has struggled to balance expansion with profitability, however, reporting a loss of 462 million euros in the first 9 months of 2023. They've invested more than €1 billion in the podcast market, signing up celebrities such as Prince Harry and Meghan Markle to exclusive deals. In the third quarter of this year, the company registered a 16% rise in paying subscribers, which make up the bulk of the company's revenue. The Swedish giant is the biggest streaming service in the world with over 500 million users, more than double its nearest competitor. Despite this, Spotify has never posted a full-year net profit.
Well, for more on this topic and a wider look at the music business as a whole, let's speak to Marzio Schena. He's the CEO of ANote Music, the biggest music investment platform in Europe. Thank you for joining us, Marzio. I'd like to get your reaction to this Spotify story as an industry insider. Spotify CEO Daniel Ek explained the decision was dictated by economic conjecture, higher capital costs, slower growth. But should the business model itself be looked at more closely? Even in better conditions, the company struggled to turn a profit.
Yes, indeed. It's a company that, according to Daniel Ek, is adjusting to a new economic reality, a reality in which the time of cheap money has basically finished. So it's a company which is basically going out to the market and saying, we want to turn a profit. We want to become more sustainable. And we want to rationalize on a series of fronts. First of all, by cutting expenses on staff. They are cutting by 17% now. They already did previously in the year by 6% or by 2% cutting the workforce. It's also a company which is rationalizing its pricing. You could see that at the beginning of the year, they increased the price, the monthly price of their premium subscription from 10 euros to 11 euros. And it's also a company which is rationalizing the expenditure and the payouts to the artists, to the music right owners who upload the songs on Spotify. For example, one of the latest policies is to insert basically a minimum number of streams that the song should generate in order for a payout, of royalties to the song owner to happen. So it's a general rationalization strategy indeed to achieve sustainability and turn a profit, which indeed the company did in Q3. It was the first time that we were able to turn an operating profit in the history of Spotify.
And do you find that maybe some of the rival platforms out there, is there one that you find has perhaps cracked the code a bit better and has found a more sustainable model at this point?
Well, consider that Spotify is getting closer to 600 million on monthly active users. The closest competitor, which is Apple Music, is around 100. So definitely Spotify is the leader in terms of among the audio streaming platforms. The economic model is more or less similar across Spotify, Apple, YouTube. Also TikTok is getting closer to that, which is a substantial portion of the revenues generated by subscriptions and by advertisements are then paid back to the music right owners. So there has no been a big breakthrough in terms of new models of streaming platforms to this moment.
I want to talk about some other revenue streams here in the music business. Some artists are selling their rights to their catalog or to parts of their catalog. This was led to a boom in music investments, a market worth just under $100 billion. You run such a platform here in Europe, ANote Music. What makes ANote Music different in this space?
Well, compared to the traditional way of investing, of acquiring, of getting exposure to music as an asset class, we provide a more democratic approach. We have an online platform, an online marketplace where you can buy and sell portions, so not the whole catalog, but portions of music catalogs from hit songs, so from famous songs. So this is a way to open up the market, to recognize the market of music as an important one from an alternative investment asset class standpoint. And in order to also provide a way also to the fan to get closer potentially to their favorite songs by also acquiring a portion, of their favorite songs and receiving the royalties over the years on a recurring basis.
Like so many other sectors, artificial intelligence could prove to be a massive disruptor in the music industry and already is in some ways. Some artists are trying to harness that new technology, Grimes, for instance. Others are understandably concerned about what this means from a copyright point of view, for instance. What would AI-generated music mean for a business like ANote Music?
Well, for us, for the time being, it's neither a risk nor an opportunity. Because when we look at the song, when a song or a catalog is listed on our platform, it means that it already has a track record of minimum 3 years of royalties generated. So far, of course, we have, for a sense of novelty, we haven't seen yet uploaded any royalties or any catalogs listed from songs generated with AI. It might be in the future, but so far we didn't see it as a case. But the real elephant in the room, which is not touching ANote Music, but is touching the whole music industry, is that copyright laws so far, right now, are inadequate for artificial intelligence and its effect that it can have on the music business. Because there's basically no level of protection, no level of transparency that AI platforms, also the open source ones, are required to follow and to basically disclose what are the songs that have been used to train the algorithms to produce new content, new songs. So this is something that the regulators are actually looking at. And at the moment that we will have, some European-wide or global basis regulation that says, okay, new song, output is a new song, we need to somehow disclose what were the songs that were used, to train the model to generate a song. It's a moment in which we will have new avenues for new opportunities, truly new opportunities for the music, for new revenue generation and protection indeed of copyright and the content creation of music.
Marzio Schena, unfortunately, this is all the time we have for, but thank you very much for speaking to us on People and Profit.
Thank you for having me.
Let's finish with a look at 2023's most streamed artist on Spotify, Taylor Swift. With 26.1 billion streams, she dethroned rapper Bad Bunny and stands to make over $100 million thanks to the Swedish platform. This marks yet another financial accomplishment for the billionaire pop star. Well, Yuka Royer from France 24's business desk joins us now for more. Hi, Yuka.
Hi, Charles.
How much exactly is Taylor Swift worth?
Oh, what are we going to say? Haters going to hate, but Taylor Swift is estimated to be worth over $1 billion, according to Bloomberg. The singer-songwriter earns hundreds of millions of dollars from her music catalogue, concert ticket sales, royalties, etc. She's sold an estimated 114 million album units worldwide. Her concert tours have raked in hundreds of millions of dollars each time, and streaming now accounts for a big chunk of her business empire.
And this has given her unprecedented power to shape the music industry.
Well, Charles Swift is a champion of artists' rights. She pulled her entire music catalogue from Spotify for several years in protest at low royalty payouts, arguing that music should not be free. She also forced Apple to change its royalty policy on its platform. Now, when she couldn't buy back the rights to her own music from her former label, with whom she's probably never, ever getting back together, Taylor Swift decided to re-record her first 6 studio albums, with each new one outperforming the original. So this really was a game changer. It challenged the way music contracts gave more power to labels. The singer also helped inspire a vinyl revival. Last year, record sales surpassed CDs in the UK, with her Midnight album becoming the biggest ever selling LP of the century.
And she's had such a big impact that it even gave US GDP a boost in 2023.
The US economy grew more than expected over the summer, driven by consumer spending, and Taylor Swift's Eras Tour was a major contributor. In the 20 cities as she held concerts, local businesses got a boost, from hotels to restaurants to shops. She even got a mention in a report by the Federal Bank of Philadelphia for spurring growth in the city's economy. It's not just in America, of course. With over 150 shows across 5 continents, the Eras Tour left an economic impact along its trail, even spurring fears it would fuel inflation towards a cruel summer. But of course, in many places, people saw a happy summer.
Yuka Roye, thank you very much. Well, that's all for this week. You can watch our previous shows on France24.com or listen by searching People in Profit on the podcast platform of your choice. If you have any comments or questions, feel free to reach out to us on social media. In the meantime, thank you for watching and stay tuned.